Hey, this is Patrick Coffin with a Stroll and talk about the Youth Synod. About a month-long confab, as the kids say in Rome. Pope Francis kicked it off with a talk to bishops this week saying they should stay away from moralistic postures and the lure of ideologies that don't touch upon daily experiences of people. I don't really know what that means. I do know that the last synod gave us Amoris Laetitia, or as my text recognition calls it, Amoris Laetitia. So I've sort of dubbed that controversial document, Apostolic Exhortation, Amoris Laetitia, especially number 8, which is so confusing and so divisive and so apparently in contrast and contradiction, I guess Pope Benedict would say, in the hermeneutic of discontinuity with Familiaris Consortio and the teaching of Christ on the indissolubility of marriage. But up, getting down a bit of a soupage-like rabbit hole there. The Youth Synod is a massive distraction from the problem that's hiding now in plain sight, which is the lid that's been blown off the priestly sex scandal, which is largely a scandal involving homosexual predators. 81% of the victims from 1950 to 2002 have been post-pubescent males, and their perpetrators also male. Now, of course, any abuse of a minor, irrespective of the sex of the victim, is completely outrageous and beyond unacceptable. But I don't think the Youth Synod is going to hit the things that really need to be hit. I think it's going to serve as another instrument of weaponized ambiguity. And I think we need to pray for all the bishops who have to be there to listen to the Spirit of God in continuity with 2,000 years of Catholic teaching. Otherwise, it's just going to be an LGTB festival. Cardinal Baldisseri, who's running it, who is one of the main organizers of what's called the Instrumentum Laboris, which is justly criticized by Archbishop Chaput, along with an unnamed American theologian who criticized it in the pages of First Things magazine. It's sad, isn't it, that theologian has to remain nameless? Just goes to the spirit of fear that we're dealing with here under the current papacy. It's just a very sad reality that people don't feel they can speak their minds if their ecclesial future is dangled in front of them in some threatening way. I agree with Archbishop Chaput that the sex soup, the alphabet soup, LGBTQSY, there's a new mixture that comes out every couple of weeks. Father James Martin disagrees. He thinks that homosexuals should be able to call themselves whatever they want, whether that's LGTB or anything else. I think that's a recipe for chaos. I think it's clear that human beings are made in God's image and likeness and have inherent dignity and worth and beauty, and we shouldn't reduce people to the one thing about them, their sexual inclinations and their disordered appetites. And also, what's the T belong there for? LGBT. On the one hand, we're supposed to accept that transgender people, are not bisexual or lesbian or homosexual. They're just people who believe they're the opposite sex. And I don't know what the T's doing there. But it's interesting. Father Martin wrote a book on building bridges, but he doesn't seem to want to engage people outside his left liberal Jesuit bubble. Maybe that'll change in the future. I sure hope so. In the meantime, we need to pray hard that this Youth Synod is not used as another example of ambiguity and confusion and lack of clarity. I mean, that's a good way to summarize it. A total lack of clarity. Young people today are hungry for the truth, the fullness of truth, which is Jesus Christ, ultimately, and the teaching of sound psychology and all the other sources of truth that Catholics can accept, because all truth belongs to Christ. So, I also hope that Cardinal Baldisseri releases the planning documents, which are apparently going to be kept under wraps. That strikes me as a little bit totalitarian, but it's not without precedent. So hopefully we'll have clean, actual transparency, and that this youth synod will do less damage than what one would anticipate ordinarily. All right, this is Patrick Coffin. Subscribe. Click below. Stay in touch. The show is The Patrick Coffin Show. It's a weekly podcast, uploads on Tuesday. This week's guest is the amazing author and Fox News ace host, Tucker Carlson of Tucker Carlson Tonight. I know you'll enjoy it. And I do want to keep in touch. Send me your comments, drop by, and of course, above all, in the meantime, be a saint. What else is there?